And our final game of week 18, the Detroit Lions and the Green Bay Packers, as we sit right now, 4.5 to 5 in favor of the Packers, 49 to 49.5 is your total. Guys, this one's pretty simple for me. I am going to be watching the Seattle game. If Seattle is winning that game, I am going to bet the Packers before this thing gets on the other side of 6. If this is somehow in some way the Rams are going to beat or are beating the Seahawks, I'm going to come in. I'm going to take the points for the Lions. Very simple handicap for me because look, we're all human beings. This was a Lions team, thought they were dead in the season, rally back, think they're going to get an opportunity to play for the playoffs, and then it could literally be sitting there watching their opportunity evaporate in front of their very eyes. I know they're pros. I know they're professionals, but Adam, you go out on the field after you've just been kicked in the gut like that. It's impossible to give your best effort. It's impossible to play up. And we know the Packers still have to win the game regardless. So for me, pretty simple. Seahawks are going to win. I'm going to bet the Packers. Seahawks are going to lose. I'm going to bet the Lions.
Well, if we're going to make this handicap about motivation, not talking about on field, then I don't know that the Lions lose all of their motivation because they know that this is it, right? Like, it's not a win you're in, but it's sure as hell a win and you knock Green Bay out. And so I think Dan Campbell can probably get his guys rallied up to the idea of, you want to keep your division rival out of the playoffs? Go out there and kick their butts. So I don't think they lose all motivation. Do they have the same motivation? Absolutely not. The Detroit Lions offense continues to play very well, and I'm more inclined to take points with them than I am to lay it with the Packers, simply because I think that the Detroit Lions, ultimately, you're getting skewed a little bit by that Carolina game with them, but the EPA numbers are all there. The success numbers are all there. I think they're going to be able to move the ball against Green Bay. That's really where my handicap starts and ends.
Steven, Jared Goff, highest passer rating and best touchdown to interception ratio in the NFL since week 10. He's thrown 15 touchdowns, hasn't thrown a pick since week 10. Is Jared Goff here? What do you see in this one?
Two different angles. The first would be a money line parlay, because with week 18, sometimes you get some correlation, right, on potential outcomes. So if you were to bet Seattle money line parlayed with Green Bay money line right now, you can get pretty close to plus 100. And I think maybe like minus 105 if you're shopping around. There might be some of those. But that price, as we sit here right now, is a lot cheaper than it will be if on the Green Bay money line, if Seattle wins the game. If Seattle wins and Detroit's eliminated, Green Bay is going to get steamed a little bit, and that money line price is going to be a lot more expensive. So at least in terms of correlated outcomes and value, there is incentive to lock that money line parlay in right now if you think the Packers are going to win the game. For me, though, on the spread, I'm only interested in Detroit at this point, but I'm not betting it right now, because if Seattle wins the game, then we're going to get a even bigger number, I think, on Detroit than the 4.5 we're seeing right now. I think there's a 5 popping. So I'm just going to wait and see what kind of number I get on Detroit, because even if Seattle loses, you guys can tell me if you disagree. If Seattle loses and Detroit is alive to make the playoffs, I still don't really see this number sinking to like 3.5 by any means.
Yeah, maybe not. I don't know. Like I said, for me, I like the Lions if they have something to play for. I like the Packers if they don't.